yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships, like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
And you think it's funny?
And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a, you know, great.
You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times. So, you know, if I burn out, I burn out.
Pierce had it poked away, stolen by Jordan. Lojas down on the floor. It's loose to Humphries. 4 to shoot. Humphries 3.
You like the idea. Jordan coming up with the steal.
Oh, look at that. The 40-year-old dives to the hardwood.
Artis Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy, because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it. Gets it up ahead.
Charles Barkley recently delivered a blunt truth that many NBA legends have likely been holding back for years, and it's something LeBron James definitely won't enjoy hearing on live television. Looking straight into the camera, Barkley declared, Kevin Durant has no place in the GOAT talk, not even close. But the surprising part was that his comment wasn't about stats, championships, or talent. It was about respect. And after what LeBron and Durant said on their podcast, they may be about to learn what happens when you laugh at the wrong legend. On LeBron and Steve Nash's podcast, Mind the Game, they invited Kevin Durant to join them. 3 superstars casually talking basketball, sharing stories and enjoying the conversation. Everything seemed normal until the discussion shifted to what it truly takes to stay great over a long stretch in the league.
He's a great player. I think that his legacy is complicated. You know, I don't like any guys who join super teams. I'm biased against LeBron when it comes to comparing him to Michael, joining Dwayne and those guys. Because, you know, when we had this debate, and LeBron's amazing and spectacular, but I was like, Michael didn't join anybody. He just kept getting his ass kicked and got bigger and got stronger and finally knocked the wall down. And, you know, Kevin, who's a great player, you know, other than the fact when he joined the Warriors, he hasn't been successful anywhere else. And I don't hold that against him, but he wants to be considered in that list. He's not on that list. He's not on that list. He's a great, great player, but he's not on that list. He wants to be like, wow, he's not in a GOAT conversation, because you're not, plain and simple.
Damn.
You had great success when you joined the Warriors, but not only did you not have success, you actually flamed out in those other places. You got swept last year in the playoffs. You didn't even make the play-in this year.
Durant began talking about the mental battle of staying great, the dedication, the doubt, and the moments when you question whether you still want to push forward. Then, out of nowhere, he dropped a line that sent the entire room into laughter. Some people say, I want to go play baseball and then come back. Others want to go 22 straight years. LeBron immediately burst out laughing as if it were the funniest thing he had ever heard, and everyone watching knew exactly who Durant was taking a shot at: Michael Jordan. This was a jab at MJ, the legend who dominated the league, won 3 straight titles, then shocked the world by stepping away to play baseball before returning to win 3 more. Durant was clearly teasing Jordan for leaving the game while propping up LeBron for grinding through 22 seasons without a break. But here's where it gets messy. Michael Jordan didn't walk away because he was bored or looking for a new hobby. In 1993, he was at the absolute peak of his power, ruling the league like no one else, having just completed a three-peat, an achievement only a handful of teams in NBA history have ever matched.
Oh shit, I was in the league. I thought you were about to say some shit about the 90s.
Only one of us was in the league.
Down with the 90s. That team, that 90s bled into the early 2000s.
Then the unthinkable struck Michael Jordan harder than anything he ever faced on a basketball court: the murder of his father, James Jordan. This wasn't just a parent, it was his closest friend, his mentor, the person who believed in him before the world ever did. The pain Jordan endured in 1993 is something most people can barely imagine. So when he stepped away from basketball to play minor league baseball, he wasn't running from pressure or avoiding competition. He was honoring his father's memory. Baseball had been his dad's favorite sport, the dream he had always hoped Michael would chase. Every swing, every practice, every game Jordan played during that time was for his father. And that's what makes Kevin Durant's recent podcast joke so jarring. On Mind the Game, a show hosted by LeBron James and Steve Nash, Durant made a crack comparing his own longevity to players who go play baseball and come back, a reference everyone instantly recognized as a jab at Jordan. LeBron burst into laughter, and the moment spread across social media with fans calling the comment insensitive, mocking one of the most emotional chapters in sports history. But this wasn't the first time LeBron took a subtle swipe at Jordan and the era he dominated. Not long ago, he casually said, "We done with the 90s," dismissing the decade that shaped modern basketball and turned the NBA into a global force. That era, defined by Jordan, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and many other legends, was built on physical defense, brutal competition, and no-load management. Players showed up every night pushing through injuries that would sideline many stars today. Jordan never formed a super team or asked for rivals to join him. He took them on and beat them. So when LeBron downplayed the 90s, it felt like an attempt to rewrite the timeline so greatness would start with his generation instead. That growing disrespect is exactly what pushed Charles Barkley to finally speak up. Barkley has watched modern players brush aside the challenges of the 90s, diminish Jordan's competition, and reshape history to elevate themselves. And on live television, during a segment about Kevin Durant's legacy, Barkley snapped. When asked where Durant ranks among the all-time greats, especially after recent struggles, Barkley didn't hold back. He called Durant a great but complicated player, then said bluntly, "I don't like any guys who join super teams." He admitted he's biased toward Jordan because Jordan stayed with Chicago through years of heartbreak, got stronger, fought harder, and eventually conquered the Detroit Pistons, one of the most physical teams in league history. Barkley contrasted that with LeBron and Durant, who sought out super teams rather than breaking through walls on their own. Then Barkley turned directly to Durant's resume. He reminded viewers that outside of joining the already dominant Golden State Warriors, Durant hasn't found major success. Barkley pointed out that KD was swept in the playoffs last season, failed to reach the play-in tournament this year with Phoenix, and watched yet another star-studded experiment crumble after forming previous super teams in Brooklyn that fell apart as well. The pattern is clear. When Durant joins elite teams, he thrives. When he's expected to lead a franchise by himself, things fall apart. Barkley summed it up with a brutal but honest conclusion. Durant wants to be in the GOAT conversation, but he isn't. So why are LeBron and Durant, two generational talents, so bothered by Michael Jordan? For LeBron, the shadow has been there since day one. He was called the chosen one, the man destined to surpass Jordan. And while he's achieved incredible things, every accomplishment has a Jordan equivalent that looms larger. 6 titles to LeBron's 4. A perfect 6-0 finals record compared to LeBron's 4-6. 10 scoring titles to LeBron's 1. Jordan averaged 30.1 points